So I was born and raised in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and I'm actually going back home when I graduate to work for the National Oil Company. I actually lived in Boston before when I was younger as a kid, but that was about 15 years ago, so this is the first time since then that I've actually spent a prolonged time here. It's been a great 4 years, that's the least I can say. Initially I wasn't even sure I'd come in because there were visa issues with people from Arab countries post 9/11. And I know lots of people who the years before applied and were excited and couldn't even get in. And so I was happy that we were the first year since then that actually managed to get, visas. And then eventually we had our international orientation here, which was great, by far one of the best experiences. Because I got to meet all the people that somewhat had a similar perspective of college in the US. We had so much in common because we were all coming to do this, but we also we liked the same type of music, we liked soccer, there were lots of things that just bonded us together in that period. And I see some of them now and it's like, wow, do you believe we met in August 4 years ago and now it's almost time to say goodbye. Looking back, it's just funny how, how people have changed since then. But I can recall one of them, the funnest things was, it was just fun sitting in the lobby in the morning just before everyone came out and people slowly shuffling in. And you're like, hi, where are you from? My name is whatever, and what's your name? And slowly catching up and meeting people that spoke the same language or meeting people that lived in the same city or visited the same places. That really caught up. And friends started introducing friends to each other that we just met. And there was that huge community building aspect. Initially, the first year was somewhat rough, getting used to the culture overall. It's very much more demanding here. Deadlines are a big deal. Classes start on the dot, there's no messing around, homework is due when it's due. The food, I mean, it took a while to find a good Arabic restaurant, but I finally found one that I was somewhat satisfied with. I still am behind, to tell you the truth. I still haven't really done everything there is to Boston. I feel like I've done a lot, but still. The Museum of Fine Arts, the Cape Cod, a couple of places I still haven't done. But however, I've also gone to, the aquarium, the Science Museum, gone skydiving. Try to get as close to the culture as I can. The thing about BU is that it's such a huge school and you have so many people that you really have to build your own experience and you have so many different tracks you could follow. I have had to go out of my way to network to really maximize on that. Because it's very easy to get tied up in schoolwork and go back home and sleep and watch TV and stay on the internet and not really mix with people. But that's part of the blessing Boston is that, stuff you want to learn out of the classroom, current events and riots and speeches and protests and, the Iraq War and everything tied to that, and then the war in Lebanon and Darfur, and it gets into the classroom, it gets into the street, you get a more global perspective. Someone in the classroom is going to have read, Al Jazeera or BBC or seen the last, broadcast, and they'll bring it to the classroom, and then it's open game to discuss. You're open to debate anything that's possible, from gay rights to politics to, whatever you want to talk about. And I personally love debate, so it's been fun just doing it in class and out of class. So, we get great exposure to, worldly events, whether on the local sphere or even all over the world. We had the Israeli ambassador to the UN come and speak. We had the Palestinian ambassador come speak. We had the Iranian ambassador to the UN teleconference with us, as well as the former son of the Iranian Shah, as well as so many world-class leaders and speakers come to us, which is great because we all get to benefit from it. I'm sure I won't miss the homework. I'm sure I won't miss the crazy cramming and deadlines and getting 3 hours in a week of sleep and stuff like that. I'm going to miss the people. I'm going to miss the professors. Going to miss, just the day-to-day and going to class and, that type of routine. And, some of the people you see nowadays, left and right of you, you probably won't see again. So that's just the sad part. But, with things like Facebook and email and technology as it is, I'm somewhat optimistic.